giddy today.
You're giddy?
Hey, and then don't do that because if you go, it picks up on the mic.
No drums.
All right. I think there's a lot of caffeine going on in this room this morning, right?
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to This Pink Cloud Season 2, Episode 36. I am DJ Kelly Reverb, recovering alcoholic, and sitting in with me, I'm very excited, the lovely and talented Charlie Manson of Recovery, starter of SOBAR Basics, LPC, LCDC, the one and only Dusty Burrows, the Vanilla Viking. I forgot to get that in there, too.
Thank you, Kelly.
That was a mouthful.
I
That
know.
was a mouthful. I live for these introductions.
There's a lot. And speaking of that, his plutonic life partner. I feel like I'm invading a little, like what did y'all call it? It's
A thruple.
a thruple. We're a thruple today. Because I see this over here is Cassie Braun, and she is with Dogs Matter. I personally know her as the Posh Spice of Recovery.
Yes.
So, But she's a good kid, and she's out there living in recovery, being her best self, and repping Dogs Matter,
That's right.
which really, they do matter.
They do.
Hey, but excited to have you. Real quick, before we get to the guest, I want to plug the sponsor, which is summersky.us. Should be right above my head. And that is 888-857-8857. And that is summersky.us, 888-857-8857. They are a great facility out in Stephenville, Texas. I got sober there. You can too. And like I always say, if not, it's a really expensive trip to Stephenville, Texas.
Beautiful trip.
Right, exactly. And then also be sure and hop on, if you're not following us or subscribe to the YouTube channel, I'm going to put unique content up there. Maybe like a best of or something like that. But if you go to thispinkcloud.com, that'll take you to the YouTube channel. And hit subscribe, comment on there. Actually, last week I had a guy named Richard Bradshaw, and he's got Texas Central Harm Reduction, and he was talking about fentanyl and opioids, and I almost said fentanoids. But, and all the overdose and Narcan. So there was some really, really important stuff on last week, like life-saving stuff. But, we can't be deep every week, so... But
keep it light sometimes.
Exactly. Well, so you guys, are recovery famous to me. Because I see y'all in my feed all the time. So I'm like, and they're always at the gym, co-mingling at the gym, getting their swell on, or getting their tone on, or however. But so I'm excited to have. I've been pursuing you for a while,
You have.
Casey.
I'm finally here.
I know she finally showed up. It was like I would book her, and then I would go, okay, it's the week of, you're gonna be on, and she was like, I can't do it this week. So, but I think it was more of a Dogs Matter thing, and we wanted to get the right people in place, and on. But Cassie, if you will. Introduce yourself to the folks and kind of tell them a little bit about your backstory.
Okay. I'm Cassie, also known as Schlassie on Facebook.
And Posh Spice.
And Posh Spice, excuse me. I've been sober since December 18th of 2019. I went to rehab at Hannah's house down in South Padre. That was the best thing that ever happened to me. I haven't really ever fully told my story, so I'll just kind of wing this. Bear with me.
Sure.
I guess I'll start growing up. Had a good upbringing. I mean, my mom's like the best person that I know. But I guess the real struggle started whenever around 3rd and 4th grade I started getting teased a lot. I had these big ass Coke bottle glasses that were about an inch thick.
Oh,
and
yeah.
made my eyeballs just pop out of my head, basically.
You were like bubbles.
Yes.
Like, I gotcha.
They're terrible. I think I still have them somewhere.
I would like to see those.
I'll make sure to make that happen.
All right.
But getting to I didn't realize how detrimental it was just to even who I am now and what all that did to me. But I just learned to shut down my feelings at a very young age and started being a people pleaser, just because the teasing just made me sad. So from that point, I just wanted everybody to like me.
Right.
And
I think everybody wants everybody to like them, you know, and then, you know, just being a little kid is tough enough, you know.
So within that, I lost a lot of self-love for myself. I just wanted to love everybody else, and whatever I could do to make people like me, that's what I did. Things started to get better, like in middle school and high school. I started coming into my own. I got contacts, so that made me feel better about myself. I never drank or anything in high school. I did like my last semester going into college, but I played basketball, so I mean, life was good for the most part.
Were you an outside shooter? Did you have a mean
point guard,
3-point land? No, you were driving the lane.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
I loved it.
All right.
So I did that, and then started drinking. Nothing really. I mean, I had a crazy party stage, but I drank. I dabbled in some drugs maybe 2 or 3 times a year, but nothing ever really in my eyes was a problem until about 2 years ago. I had full access to cocaine, and I had only done it like 2 or 3 times a year, and it just never really was a problem.
Right.
But then a lot of drama was happening in my life. I was in a very toxic relationship, and having access to that, it numbed me. It made my depression go from sulking in my room to having the energy to just go out and fake it.
Right. I like how you said that. Go out and fake it, because really,
I thought I was fine.
Well, really,
but
when you're on certain substances, you're really not being yourself, because you're totally in a different mindset. So, but anyway, hey, I don't want to tell anybody not to party, so I'm not that guy. But go ahead.
So that all started to spiral a lot towards December of 2019. I almost killed myself. I had a gun in my hand, and that was the scariest moment of my life. I was ready to end my life, but my mom and my dad popped in my head, and I texted them and told them that I needed help. I had kind of hinted at that a few months prior to that, but I don't think anybody realized how bad it was.
Yeah.
I was just in the darkest spot I've ever been, and it's the best decision that I ever made was to make that text and to go to rehab.
Right. So, I mean, but like as far as I always like to call it your career of using, you know, I mean, it was not a huge window where you were wheels off, right? I mean, it happened relatively quickly for you.
Yeah. I mean, looking back on it, my drinking with relationships, I learned I cling very easily. Like once I let you in and I get close, I tend to overlove, and I can almost ruin relationships doing that, because I just, again, I think it all goes back from being teased. Once somebody accepted me and loved me and gave me the attention I wanted, if that faded or if somebody got mad at me, I'd go the extra mile to try to make it right, and it's not in a healthy way.
Sure. No, I gotcha. Well, so yeah, Dusty, are you here, buddy?
Yeah, you know, it's funny because those people who know us know how important Cassie is to me. So I wasn't really expecting to get all of my feelings when she was sharing. So I'm like, breathe, don't cry, breathe, don't cry.
Well, no, I mean, that's heavy stuff. So you were like I said, like a short window, but then you got to a point where you just felt like, you know, that alternate decision was the best decision for you, and then went to rehab. Did you do like a 30-day stint, or
I was
60?
there about 52 days.
About 52 days.
Well, they required.
I was there 52 days and 3 hours and 47 minutes.
No, so like you had to go for 45, and then I extended for, I think it was like 2 weeks.
Okay.
I stayed an extra 2 weeks because that's what was interesting about rehab. I mean, 30 days seemed like a lifetime going into it.
Sure.
But really, that's when the work really I was able to get started, because like it takes that 30 days to get comfortable, get acclimated to working a program in there, talking to your
used
counselor.
Get used to being like there without the substances.
And I was scared. I mean, coming back into the real world, not knowing what was going to happen with my friends, not drinking, like just what life was going to be like.
Right.
What do you think was the best part, the game changer for you while you were in treatment?
Oof.
Going deep.
That's what I do.
Really the time to myself. That's because we had talked about doing outpatient and me staying home and just kind of going, still working my job and then going and doing things outside of that. But that was probably the first time I've ever fully focused on myself. That was vital to where I'm at right now.
Yeah, because you probably were one of those overachievers. I get that from you, like that you just throw yourself into work and you're just like, boom, wheels, just
I needed to let go.
Yeah.
And just
and
be away
actually
from
focus
everybody.
on you and what's happening on the inside.
Because I'd never done that in my life. Like I said, I was just always catering to other people and not ever thinking about myself.
Right. Well, we're glad you're thinking. Yeah, we're glad you're thinking about yourself now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so many people go into treatment. I don't know what your experience was like, but they're focusing on everything. They're focusing on their pets, their kids, their job, their mistress, whatever, the money they owe to their drug dealer, and they're not able to really focus on why they're there to take care of themselves. And so to be able to tap into that at an early time in treatment is integral.
I agree.
Agreed.
I agree. So then, so after, what did you find? What worked for you in early sobriety? Like, what helped you maintain that focus?
Well, I always joke about it, even though it's a sensitive topic, but I'm thankful for COVID and kind of having to be secluded, because whenever I got back, that's when all that ramped up, and it kind of kept, because nobody could go out to the bars, and I think that would have been a big temptation for me,
yeah,
all
I
my
could see
friends
that.
going out and doing the things that they were doing before I left. But sober living, I went to Simply Grace, and I'm forever thankful for all
Shout
the
out
ladies
to
there.
Simply Grace. We love them out there.
Yes, I love them very much.
Yeah. Now, did you actually just do outpatient or in IOP?
I stayed in one of the homes.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
I was there for about 3 months.
Which one were you in?
Colmar in Plano.
Oh, okay, cool.
I think they still have that house.
Right. I think they have
Plano
3
house.
locations. So.
Yeah, they had I feel like they had 6 or 7 whenever I first came in, but I know they've closed some of the houses down.
Oh, okay. Well, and then, so how long were you in that program as far as the sober living situation?
Until about June of last year.
Okay, so I don't know, when you went in and when you went out.
Oh, sorry, my bad. I got out in February from rehab, and then I stayed at Simply Grace till around June.
Okay.
And then I moved in with my mom, and then a few months later is when I moved into my apartment that I have now.
Cool.
So I could get my dog back.
Nice. I love that. And I wish, if you saw on the advert that I had up for the show, it's your dog Kermit, and it's Kermit the dog. I love Kermit. Was Kermit a rescue or?
Yeah, a friend of mine that I worked with, she found him by the airport.
Oh, wow.
About 7 years ago. And I posted everywhere because he was in good shape and he's a great dog and nobody ever claimed him. I posted on Facebook, Nextdoor, all those things. And
sure.
It was fate.
It was meant to be. Just like I'm looking at y'all. It was meant to be.
Yeah, Cassie was a very unexpected surprise to my life. She reached out to me through Facebook, through Sobar, and we met up at the truck yard, and
tell that story.
Everything.
Yeah, let's hear it.
This is kind of funny.
Let's hear it.
So she reached out to me, and being a single guy, and she reached out.
I already know where Dusty's mind is going. First
I was
off,
telling my mom, I was like, "Yeah, I'm going to meet this girl up at truck yard." I was like,
she's kind of hot.
Yeah, I was like, she's good looking. I didn't really get the vibes like she was trying to go out on a date. So I'm just gonna go meet up with her. She said she wants to get involved with Sobar and see what happens. So I get up there, we sit down. Cassie's kind of nervous, and so we hit it off automatically. But then she starts talking about her ex-wife, and I was like, yeah, okay, she's not here for a date.
Bingo.
Which was good because that dates are too much pressure anyway. So
right.
And then here we are, inseparable pair. So she's my best friend, my accountability partner.
Y'all are kind of like your y'all are each other's unofficial sponsors.
Yeah, she'll say shit to me that nobody else will say, so that's good. Somebody like me needs that pop the bubble sometimes, so it works out pretty good.
No, I like
Can
it.
still be intimidating, even though we're close.
Yeah. Y'all,
But that's my own stuff too.
Right.
You know? Like I said, I don't like making people mad.
Yeah. But I mean, I think y'all are a beautiful couple. I like it. I like it.
You.
I like it. But so you mentioned Sobar Basics. You know, we never really talk about it enough, but Sobar Basics was basically a brainchild of yours that you were in the service industry. And why don't you tell the folks a little bit about it and what's going on with it?
All right, thanks, Kelly. Sobar Basics, it's basically Sobar is short for sober bartender. Basics is an acronym for bartender and service industry community support. So I came up with that when I was still living in North Padre Island, trying to get my shit together.
Speaking of that, I don't mean to interrupt your pitch, but I noticed that she got sober in Padre Island. So is there a connection there somehow?
Two different Padres.
Random?
One's South Padre by Brownsville and
North
Mexico,
Padre.
and the other one's by Corpus Christi. So mine's a little
I
more
know that.
suburban,
Gotcha.
as opposed to South Padre is a little bit more of a vacation destination. Spring Break
Okay,
'93,
cool.
shout out.
Right.
So I started it down there when I was still living down there, but shortly after I moved back home up here to the DFW area, and it just kept growing and growing, and the premise really was just support, right? And then other people wanted to be in that weren't in the service industry, so of course, this is an all-inclusive, multiple pathways kind of deal. And so it just grew and grew, and now it's a big community of people here in North Texas and all of Texas, the U.S., and even people across the pond, different parts of the world. So it's where people can come anytime, 24 hours a day, share good things they're struggling with, and get support. Also, we do some events sometimes. We partner up with the Phoenix. We'll do a Lake Day on October 10th out at Grapevine. So, and then people get together from inside of the group to do various things. And then other recovery communities like Skate Straight and the Phoenix will promote their activities within Sobar as well.
Well,
so
and I know that because
catch-all.
I promote that heavily on Sobar.
Absolutely. This Pink Clouds always promotes in there. So whoever is welcome to really kind of promote there, as long as it's healthy and you know, those Cassie's an admin too. And if it's healthy,
so she
and we
can
support
deny
it,
my post.
All the time.
All the time, right?
So it's just a really cool thing. And so it's open for people that need support from, you know, maladaptive behaviors, mental health issues, addictions of all kind, and it's multiple pathways. It's very LGBTQIA friendly. It doesn't matter if you're atheist, Christian, Jewish, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Sober curious, elective sobriety, in it for the long term, or maybe you just want to sober up
and
for October.
And for,
it doesn't really matter.
And I would say for I forgot it's Sober October, right?
Sober-tober.
Sober October. But I mean, that's what I love about it. And people are, I would say 99.9% of the time, really positive and actually, you know, give some decent advice on there. So I love it about that community.
There's a lot of good conversations. A little debate on there, but we keep it healthy and we keep it respectful, and that's really the premise of the group. Because one of the things that I saw as I was searching for online communities to be a part of is people were just jerks to each other. And if you're doing it wrong, or you're going to go out and use again if you don't do it my way. And I didn't like any of that. Yeah. So we go in there and share your story, share what works for you, and don't shit on anybody's method of recovery, because it might be saving their life, and it's saving their life, then it's a good method. It's a good pathway.
I agree. And then, something that y'all do together, and we don't really put it out there enough, or I feel, is the North Recovery or North DFW.
Yeah,
Recovery Dharma.
North DFW.
I'll get it right.
Yeah, so Cassie and Stephanie and I put together this recovery.
Shout out, Stephanie.
Yeah, what's up, Stephanie Ann?
What's up, girl?
And so it's been really good. We're building a community, and so Recovery Dharma is really starting to take off in the Metroplex. And for those who don't know, it's a Buddhist pathway to recovery. It's using Buddhist principles, so you don't have to be a practicing Buddhist. You can be an atheist, agnostic, Jewish. We even have somebody in there who's Muslim. Lots of different religions. And some of us who are in there practice that as our main pathway, and a lot of people, about half, I would say, utilize their 12-step recovery as their main pathway, and then in addition to their 12-step recovery, utilize recovery Dharma.
You know, the thing that I have discovered about recovery Dharma is that it's heavy on the mindfulness and the forgiveness, and sometimes you might lose a little bit of that, even though it tells you to do it in the 12 steps. But I mean, I think this is more focused on that, and it's not weird, and it's not a religious experience. I mean, I guess it can be, but it's not intended to be that way, because whenever you say Buddhist, I'm out.
Yeah, and I think there's different ways to process the word religion too, because the rest of the world doesn't process it necessarily the same way we do in Western culture. So religion doesn't have to be this strict thing of rules. A religion can just be what works for you, what you're passionate and focused on. So it's just a matter of perspective. And it's if you just come in and keep an open mind, there's a lot of mindfulness and a meditation piece. And what's great about it is you don't have to be in recovery from chemical addiction. You can be in recovery from process addiction, or just some behaviors that you're not proud of that are hurting yourself or other people. We have people in there in recovery from messy divorces. So you can bring other people in your life.
It's not necessarily from addiction. So, correct. I mean, it's just,
Well, an addiction is just basically a pattern of avoidance, a persuasive pattern of avoiding feelings. And that can be anything, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Wow,
so it's good stuff. We really love it.
I'm thank you for coming on the show today, Dusty. No, but so do you have anything to add to that? I mean, like your experience with it, or with the recovery Dharma, or I mean, what is working for one said Cassie Braun out there?
Cassie Braun.
Yeah.
Well, I wish I would have known about recovery Dharma from the get-go.
Sure.
I actually connected with it, not recovery Dharma, but in rehab. We had a guy come in and do a guided meditation, and where I went was 12-step based. So it was the word God gets mentioned in the book, and that's just something that I never related to, just due to people telling me I'm going to hell because I'm gay.
That is a huge stumbling block for a lot of people, the whole God thing. And I mean, because people have to, there's this Father Time figure that we all were taught or whatever, or experienced, or Santa Claus or Sky Daddy. But, it's just like, that's a huge stumbling block. And that's why people will say, okay, well, don't focus on what, I mean, just,
right.
Go ahead. But
I was able to get through it. I mean, I would just talk to the sky. I wasn't relating it to anything. At that point, I just needed something to connect to. And they ended up giving me guided meditations on a little old school MP3 player, which helped me a lot. But then coming out of rehab, I didn't really know. I still meditated, but there was no program that I was going to. I was still attending AA meetings, and I fully believe in the program. I mean, it definitely, the structure and all that definitely helped me the first 6 months of my sobriety. But then I wanted to find something different. I wasn't connecting with it anymore. And I met Dusty, and really community was a big part of my recovery for an additional 6 months. And then me, Dusty, and then I met Stephanie. As we got closer, we talked about recovery Dharma, and now I love it.
Now it's a reality. You talk about it and then do it.
Now we have full Sangha.
That's right. Oh, Dusty always likes to use the Sangha word.
I like that word.
Right?
It just rolls off the tongue. Sangha. This means community.
Right.
Yeah, which, I think, as Cassie mentioned, community is a huge part of our recovery.
Oh, yeah.
Because if I didn't have my community, I'd be pretty bored. And that's why one of the reasons why we're so, adamant about posting stuff on social media, not just because we love attention, but because to show people in recovery or who are new in recovery that we're having a good time.
Yeah.
Not just every now and again, but we're having a good time every flipping day.
That was one of the things that I was afraid of. Like, if I quit drinking, man, I'm just going to it's like the Friends episode with the Fun Bobby thing. And when he gets drinking, he's just,
that is a good episode.
Hi, how are you? But it's not like that at all. I'm still a complete jackass. So,
that's why I chose to recover loudly. At first, I was nervous about posting about it, if my mom or friends, people would be embarrassed, or if it would affect my job. But it's been rewarding, and I wanted people to, because I was struggling. I had my life. I had money. I had everything that like the American dream, you know, and to me that's not the dream anymore.
Right.
Like,
well, you were, but the thing is, and one thing I wanted to point out is you were quietly struggling to yourself, and probably, you know, everybody, well, oh, Cassie's fine, man. Cassie's killing it. You know?
I didn't think I was worthy of help because, I mean, like I said, my life was together.
Yeah.
Like I had a good job. I was doing everything right, taking care of myself financially, but emotionally I was gone.
Yeah.
But I've had a ton of people, well, I say a ton. I mean, to me, a good handful of people that I've gone to high school with, or people that, some people I barely even know, just reach out from me being what I do on Facebook, and I love that because it's scary to reach out and ask for help, but to see somebody else coming from the lifestyle that you came from and knowing that it's okay to recognize that and ask for help is huge. Well,
and you know, I've had that same experience as well. You know, when you start, you know, posting stuff, and the thing is, you know, sobriety, you know, isn't for everybody, you know, and I am not that guy to get up here and preach and go, oh, well, your life sucks if you're not sober, you know, I mean, because I had tons of great times, you know, I mean, no doubt about it, but, you know, I mean, to me, it got to a position to where it was unmanageable. And I, you know, couldn't function and be the person that I think I was intended to be, you know, without, you know, using. So, I mean, and that's when it got to be a problem. I'm like, when I talk to my niece, I'm like, okay, hey man, go out, have all this fun, you know, but when you start using every day or overdosing, come talk to your Uncle Kelly.
Oh yeah, I can relate, because I've heard that people say, well, my best day, my best day using, or what is it? My worst day, my best day using is...
Today, Junior.
I totally lost it. It's basically saying that... I can't.
Come on,
I know
Forrest.
what you're saying.
I feel like George W. Bush right now.
Right.
But I had a lot of really good times when I was out there rocking and rolling. And my worst day sober isn't better than my best day using.
Right.
You know, because when you're sober, it doesn't mean we're not going to have struggles and uphill battles and challenges, but sobriety and community and recovery give us the tools to overcome those really rough days when we're in recovery.
Right.
That we can manage those issues. And for that, I'm grateful, because I could not manage anything while I was using. Every little problem, I was like, nope, can't handle that. Drink.
Hey, so Brett, real quick, it says host will let you in. So just a heads up, Steven is on. So let's talk a little bit about Dogs Matter. I mean, because we were talking about the community and everything like that. Well, this is a huge stumbling block for a lot of people because they have their dog and they're worried about their dog and what, you know, what's going to happen to my dog if I go in for treatment for 30, 60, 90, you know, and then what, how did you find them, or how did you hear about them? And then what do you do with them now, Cassie?
I was trying to remember how I directly got involved, but I think I just saw them on Facebook and I liked the page, and then I read up on what they did, and then I reached out to Taylor, who he's pretty much like runs operations. He's the only person that's being physically paid with the program right now, but I mean, he's amazing. He does so much work every day. He's up late at night if people reach out. But I just wanted to get involved. I've always loved dogs ever since I was a kid. My dad brought me up. I mean, we've always had 3 to 4 dogs in the house. But I just what made it great was combining my love for dogs and then now my love for recovery. And so I just wanted to get involved. They didn't have people that were doing events consistently, so I wanted to get involved with that because my background's in marketing, and I like being out and about and talking to people. So
and it's cool you get to hang out with dogs too.
I haven't met a whole lot of the dogs. I've met a few dogs that have been through the program, but a lot of them, even some of them are like down in Houston. I mean, they're scattered about all over the state.
Yeah. So that's another thing that I was gonna get to. I mean, as far as like the region goes, what areas do y'all service now?
Mainly DFW,
okay.
But we've got fosters, like I said, that are across the state, and we've had Steven, I know, can touch up more on it too, but I know recently, like the last month or two, I knew somebody that it was actually from Skate Straight, a guy from that group. He volunteered to drive a dog down to Houston, I believe.
Oh, wow, that's
cool. So
we
just get help from all over.
Yeah, I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Hey, so here he is.
Hey, Steven. I don't know where to wave.
The founder. I know, Steven, you can't see us, but we're here, and we look beautiful today, and so do you.
What's up, Steven?
Oh, thank you.
Hey, so Steven, yeah, we're excited to have you. I want to introduce you properly. It's Steven Knight, and you are the founder of Dogs Matter, correct?
Yes, the founder and executive director of Dogs Matter.
I love it. Okay, so I was doing a little research, and I mean, obviously, I didn't know this existed because I wasn't sober until like 14 months ago. But so it wasn't even on my radar. But once I found out about it, I was like, oh, this is great. And then I went to look, and it looked like you started in 2014, huh?
Yeah. So a little bit about how I started it and when we started it is, I got sober in 2011 from meth. I was a crystal meth addict for like 18 years, and it took me down to the point where I was homeless, living out of my car, not, at the age of 51, thinking I'm done, I'm ready to give up on all this life thing. And I was kind of forced to go into treatment from legal issues,
right?
And thank God,
yeah.
And I went to treatment, and after my inpatient treatment, I did outpatient, and then I went to sober living housing. And one night, a friend of mine, knocked on my door. She had relapsed. She was opiates, and she was having a really hard time, and she needed to go back into rehab inpatient. And she had destroyed, which we do. We destroy all our relationships. The only relationship she usually left is our dog, because they love us unconditionally.
Right.
And so she had this little dog in her arms, and I vividly remember the moment that the dog's name is Jade, just kind of looked at me like, she kind of chose me, and instead of choosing her, like, help me. And then and the girl's like, I don't know what to do with my dog. I'm going to end up having to take her down to Dallas Animal Services, which the likelihood she could be euthanized because, she would probably just, be very aggressive at that point. And so I said, let me think, I'll take her and I'll think about it. And, the second I took Jade, she became a huge part of my recovery.
The second you took Jade, Dogs Matter was born, right? Essentially.
She's my OG.
Yeah, she's your OG. I love it. Yeah. Well, hey, I want to also make a big announcement. Thank you for coming on my little show and our little show, I like to say, actually. But y'all are going to be on Kelly Clarkson later today, correct?
Yeah. So we're scheduled at 2 p.m. on NBC Channel 5 in the DFW area. Check your local listings if you're outside the DFW area. And yeah, we're so excited. It's a great show. I can't tell you everything that's going to happen, but it's worth tuning in. And the best thing about that is that for the first time, I really got to tell this to a national audience that because I believe this need is everywhere. We get phone calls from, Washington, D.C. to Washington State to Florida to California all the time.
Right.
Going, I need help. Can you help me? And we're like, well, we're in Dallas. And, so my goal is to make this thing go national and really serve the people that need it. And
that's what I was going to ask. Yeah. I was going to ask, are y'all, I guess you are planning to try to go national with this foundation?
Yeah. Yeah. Right now we're setting one up in Southern California.
Okay.
And we're hopefully close to, having a soft opening. And we actually already have we have a couple dogs that we are fostering there and kind of figuring out things. And then after that, we're also looking at, we're working with some people in Portland that want to set it up. And it's really not that difficult. I started with just me and a few people that would foster and, $1,000 somebody donated and it, we got to really serve some dogs and it's, all you need is people that are willing to help and to help a dog, and allow that person to go into the rehab. And, it's usually 30 days to 90 days and it can change that person's life. But also,
well, I love it. I love it. What you said, what is it that it says under your logo? It's
We'll
go ahead.
We'll take care of your best friend while you take care of yourself.
Yeah, there. And I love that message. And okay, so speaking of that, I had, just kind of 101 questions. Are y'all actually do y'all facilitate cats as well, or is it just dogs matter right now? Or do cats
That's always
matter?
a question I get.
Do cats matter?
They do.
Yeah.
So the story behind that is that I'm allergic to cats, first of all. And so
that's funny.
So when I started this, I couldn't do cats, because I was like, probably, fostering most of the animals coming in, the dogs coming in. So, but however, we just we're starting a partnership with Dallas Pets Alive. I don't know if you heard of them, but they're pretty big out here. And Dallas Pets Alive is going to really help do the fostering help us with the fostering and kind of take over that.
Okay.
And once they're established there, we're gonna do cats. They're set up to do cats. So to answer your question, not at the moment, but in the future, yes.
Okay. And then I'm sure there will be birds matter and turtles matter and and squirrels matter and gerbils.
Ostriches. Yeah.
Right. Well, that's cool. So, I love it. Like all these self-starting things, like we were talking to Dusty earlier about Sobar Basics, and then to have you just with just recognizing a need, in the community, and doing something about it, and then having, because it seems like you've been getting a lot more national recognition for this now. More so in the beginning, it was just a very grassroots effort, and it was just, hey, can you take this dog? Kind of, sort of.
Yeah, exactly. I basically, once I figured out that there's no program, I did my research after I took Jade and thought, well, there's got to be a program, and there was absolutely nothing. So I had that clarity of like, wow, what a great thing to, that I would be able to get to do is to start something and, basically actually ask friends and family to be on my board so I could start a nonprofit, just taking anybody that would, that would say yes. And, found a few families and that's how we started. And it's kind of grown organically. And now we've had it's been very challenging too. It's not an easy program. We can't do every dog. And there's a lot of dogs that, may be very aggressive or have a history of biting or.
I actually looked in and on the mobile app actually, and went there because I was talking to my wife about being a potential foster, and y'all have pretty standard questions. So if anybody actually wants to support or see about being a foster or looking for care for their pet, what's the best way to go? What would you tell them to do?
The best way to go is go directly to our website, which is dogsmatter2.org. And on the website, it's very clear that we have two applications. One application is for if you need to surrender your dog temporarily to us and you need your dog foster. The other application is for if you're interested in being a foster. And those we have like a thorough application that kind of is going to ask about your situation. If the person's surrendering, needing fostering, that we ask them, their situation. We verify that they're going to go into treatment because we're not just going to pick up their dog and they go out and continue to party.
Right.
So we do work.
Here, why don't you go ahead and just go with, balls out and just take a little holiday from your pet.
I'll be back when I'm finished.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we don't do that.
That's great.
So we work closely with the rehabs. We work closely with like Homeward Bound and Nexus and Burning Tree. And, so you have to have those partnerships as well. And we basically, get a contact there, make sure they're going. Then we do I know it's, so at the beginning, you really can't talk to them once they're in rehab, but by the end of it, we hopefully we'll talk to the client and hopefully whoever they're working with. Because we have, I don't know if Cassie's talking about our aftercare program. But,
no.
Yeah. So this is the best thing about what really stands out with us is that we don't just foster the dog and have a reunion. We have an aftercare program that will stay with you, the client and the dog for a year and provide services such as a recovery coach, substance abuse counselor, pet deposits, food, medical, all those things. Because our goal is we want to, the first year of recovery is really hard, and there could be a relapse, and there just could be, we want to make sure that we're the safety net for the dog and the person.
Yeah, no, I like the fact that you include the person in there. I mean, I think that's really important, because that y'all have the recovery coach, obviously not for the dog, but
could be.
Yeah, right. But I love that aspect of it, that you actually focus on, on the person as well. And so if somebody wants to, see, I mean, does it cost money? I mean, that's a basic question.
No, it's a very good question, because our services are absolutely 100% free. Mm-hmm. And it's really expensive to have a dog. It's really
yeah, I mean, how much is it to board a dog? Like for a month?
I don't even know, but I don't. Yeah. I know it's expensive.
It easily be like $50 to $100 a night.
Yeah, something like that.
But the minimum would be probably 45 or 50.
Yeah.
So think about it.
Yeah.
And if and if need be, if that person needs to go into rehab immediately, we do work with like Velvet Snout and some other places where they do give us a discount, but we'll board them up until we can find the right place for them, because there's that window when somebody makes a decision to go into treatment and go.
Yeah.
Before they change their mind.
Yeah, before they have too much time to think about it.
I know Perky Tails has helped as well.
Yeah. They'll think themselves out of it. So we want to be able to work really quickly and grab that dog and get them wherever that we can, so the person can go into rehab. So
right.
If anybody wanted to try to do this on their own and board a dog or find a pet sitter, might take care of the dog. It's going to cost thousands of dollars.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, and then also, do you have because this is another question, because if I'm an addict and looking for a home for my dog, I want to know, hey, what do you do as a background check on these people to make sure it's not like some puppy mill,
Yeah. Well, we have a thorough application that really, kind of vets them. And then we also have a conversation, we were doing site visits. We haven't done too much because of COVID, but we're really hands-on. And now that Dallas Pets Alive is going to be helping us, they're going to even vet more to really make sure the people are right. But honestly, most of our fosters are, a lot of people that are friends of friends that we know, and a lot of people in recovery. If you're in recovery, you have some long-term recovery, it can be a wonderful experience for you to foster a dog knowing that you're helping another addict, because that's what keeps us sober.
Right. No, I agree. So you said Dallas Pet Lives. So that's somebody that you're working with. And now, are they a fostering program for quote unquote normal people or whatever?
So yeah, Dallas Pets Alive is it's like the SPCA. It's not as big, but they foster them to find other homes. But they also have a program they started a few years ago that's similar to us, but they also deal with people that may just have mental illness or cancer, have to be in the hospital, and they need temporary fostering or temporary or rehoming. Because they have the expertise on fostering, and because they're the only ones that we found that besides us that do temporary fostering. The problem with most people that do want to go to the SPCA and surrender the dog, they're not going to get it back, and they'll never see that dog again. They'll be put on, even if they get out of treatment and they want to try to go get the dog again, they'll be put on a list. They cannot get that dog again. It's completely surrendered.
Right.
And so what and this needs to be done, I think, in so many other places and other types of needs that we're saying, you can surrender the program and you surrender the dog, and you can get it back if we do A, B, and C, and stay healthy.
Well, cool, man. I think you're doing good stuff, and I love it that you're trying to branch out and go national. And I hope you get that funding and those resources, in order for it to happen, because it's definitely, something that is a stumbling block for people, wanting recovery. Because I've had several people contact me and go, "Well, what am I going to do with my dog?" You know, so I think it's a great thing that you're addressing here, and I want to also give that address again. That's Dogs Matter 2, like the number 2.org, and they can go there. They can donate. They can sign up, and this is, I'm looking at the camera. They can sign up to be a foster. I had to do my close up there, but yeah, they can sign up to be a foster and then find out more about the organization, right?
Yeah, they can find out. They can, you know, I mean, we run. If without the donations, we wouldn't exist. You know, we have a few, you know, small grants and foundations get a little bit of money, but it's the supporters, it's the individual donors that keep us going. And
sure.
We've grown over, you know, because of COVID and this past year, more people adopted dogs than ever, and more people need rehab more than ever. So we've grown 200% since January, and we don't see it slowing down. We see it getting busier. So every dollar helps, and you know, and every foster family can make a difference.
Right. And so, okay, so you are like, you're the full-time employee, but I hear you also have another full-time employee, a guy, and Cassie was mentioning
Taylor.
Taylor, yeah. So.
No, I'm actually Taylor's.
He's
the only full-time. My service is a volunteer for now.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, my goal is that I would love to, if we can raise the money and we can get to that level. Yeah, I want to come on full time, but I'm also a substance abuse counselor. I'm an LCDC at a really great organization called Legacy Cares, and I'm the program director of the outpatient program.
Wow. So you got that, and then now all of a sudden dogs matter, and then shoot, man. Yeah. No, I got you. And then, but I mean, a lot of people are like Cassie here, you know, volunteers. I mean, just volunteers. Do y'all have any like fundraisers coming up? Because I know y'all done events at the truck yard, and I don't know if you have some info or if Cassie has some info or.
Me and Taylor, I actually saved something the other day, and then Taylor sent me a link for the same event that I had saved. It's called like Puptopia, I believe. It's at the end of October, so I'm going to be contacting them to see if we can set up a table of some kind and be out there for that event. It's down in Dallas.
Oh, okay, cool.
Well, I got to volunteer at an event one time. What's up, Steven? I just wanted to share this. I thought it was so cool. So people who were just coming up, they wanted to donate. They were really excited about it. But I thought it was kind of funny, too, because they would just see Dogs Matter, and they'd either have their dogs there and like, we don't care what it's about. We just want to help support dogs. And I was like, well, cool. That works, too, you know?
Yeah.
We don't care about all that addiction stuff. We just want to help the dogs. I just thought that was hilarious. But people were very receptive to the cause when they were able to stop and kind of learn about what Dogs Matter is all about. And so it's been really exciting because I first learned about it right after the inception of Dogs Matter. And so now to be able to meet Steven and, of course, to be friends with Cassie and to be able to participate in a couple of events has been really exciting.
Sweet. Well, I love it, Steven, and keep up the good work. And if they want to catch more of you, they can see you today at 2 p.m. That would be Central Standard Time here in the DFW area on the Kelly Clarkson Show, right? And you actually flew out. So today we're announcing your debut, right?
Yeah.
Hey, dude, I got the hot scoop here.
Hey, I haven't seen the show yet, so I'm a little nervous. I hope I did. You know,
I'm sure you did great.
Right.
We'll see.
We'll see how they edited it. The editing came out.
We'll see how the critics go after me.
Right. Well, hey, man, I love what you're doing, and I appreciate you taking time for us today because obviously you're a busy dude. But, like, once again, please go, donate. If you can't donate money, donate, your time or foster a pet, man, because what they have going on is a good thing and definitely is a hole that needs to be filled,
Yeah.
So thanks, Steve.
But can I say one last thing?
Yeah, please do.
I really want to thank, Cassie and Dusty for, really making a difference, and our volunteers and our foster families. That's also, keeping us going. They're the heart of it. And I love being able to work with people that are very passionate and support this mission. And we have so many great volunteers and foster families, and I just want to thank them and really appreciate their help.
Thank you, Stephen. And Taylor.
That's where you say you welcome, guys.
And then of course,
I haven't done anything much, really. I just
volunteer,
support the
but
cause.
Taylor, yeah, and Taylor, Taylor's not a volunteer, he gets paid, but
he doesn't like
does
the
work his
spotlight,
butt off.
but yes, he does.
Yeah, and he, I could not have done this without him. He took us from a very small nonprofit, and he really put us here to go to national level. So I appreciate everything he does as well. He knows it. He better.
Yeah, right. You hear that? All right. Well, thanks again, man. We'll let you get back to work, dude. And thanks for what you're doing, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Appreciate your time. I appreciate you guys having me on.
Yeah. Thanks for
Steven.
coming on, Stephen. I
Bye,
appreciate it. Hey, anytime you have anything coming up, let me know and we'll plug it on the show. So, all right.
That's great. All right.
Thanks, Stephen.
Bye, guys.
All right.
Uh-huh.
Well, that was cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Live remote. Live remote from Stephen's house. Hey, real quick, want to get to our sponsors. That would be summersky.us. That is summersky.us, and that is 888-857-8857. Once again, that is 888-857-8857. That is a rehab facility in Stephenville, Texas. I went there to get sober. You can too. Oh, also, if you're out there on any other formats, you can type in This Pink Cloud. I never plugged this, but we're actually up in podcast format. So we're should be on all the Google Play, right? And what do the kids use? Spotify. The kids. The
Is that
kids.
a kid thing?
No, I use
That's what I
Spotify
use,
too. I just like to sound old.
Napster.
Yeah, Napster, dude. on my MySpace page.
I tried to get back into my MySpace. I cannot get into it.
Well, you can probably, forgot password kind of thing, right?
I don't have
That goes to
on
like
there.
my old Hotmail.
your AOL.
Yeah.
Billy
Yeah.
Goat Texas, some shit like that.
Billy Goat Texas. Nice. Well, so anything going on? I mean, I know we kind of cut your story off short, but I don't know.
Oh, I'm good.
Anything?
I was nervous enough about that.
You got that out of the way.
I was gonna cry.
Yeah, that was
Aw.
sweet. Well, I mean, if any of you guys, have shouts out or anything like that, anything you want to plug, upcoming events, all that good stuff.
Just
Anybody?
to follow the Dogs Matter page. Like I said, I mean, September was kind of busy for me personally. I had a lot going on every weekend. But October, I'm planning on trying to do some more events on the weekends, possibly even a weeknight at the shacks, like different dog parks, stuff like that. So
Right.
And Lucy Lou Dog Treats, they're a partner of ours.
Oh, cool.
They do a ton of events every weekend at like the markets that are on Saturdays in Dallas. So I'm gonna probably go hook up with her and do some co-branding events with her. But we keep everything on the Facebook page and on the website. So
Cool. I love it. And then if people want to see y'all in person, they can just stalk y'all at the at the Recovery Dharma, right?
Yeah. So we have Recovery Dharma, North DFW. We do that at 7 p.m. every Wednesday night. So all are welcome. Come on out and hang out with us. Also on October 10th, Sunday, we're probably going to be doing the Day at the Lake with the Phoenix Dallas group. So that's always a lot of fun, noon to 3. We'll have kayaks and paddle boards and mountain bikes and volleyball and lots of food.
That sounds so unfun.
It's so cool. It's always a good turnout, and the weather's nice. It's not super hot right now, so it's going to be beautiful.
It's my favorite month.
And my last shout out, I just want to shout out to the team at Texoma Community Center, Substance Use Disorder Department. We have a great team out there. We have a medication-assisted treatment / medicated-assisted recovery program out there. We have a recovery support systems program with Dan and Carla. So we have a
Are we talking
program.
Dirty Dan?
Dirty Dan.
Dan Nybrand, Knucklehead Recovery, shout out.
Yeah.
is that how you say his last name?
Nybrand?
Yeah.
Is it Nybrand?
Yeah,
Learned something
Nybrand.
new.
Well, he's from
Nybrand?
Texas.
How do you-
Nybrand.
I think I said it in my head. I don't think I've ever said it out loud.
How many
but like
ti-
Nybrand.
How many
is probably
times
how
do you
I'd say
get
it.
the Cassie Casey thing?
That and Kathy?
Oh,
Like I have a
Cassie.
lisp or something. I don't know.
Hey, Kathy.
Or Schmassy. That's my favorite. People walk up, "Are you Schmassy?" And
Yeah.
then hearing the different ways that people
Well,
pronounce
it's funny because like on your Facebook, you're actually spelled for a reason.
Yeah. Well, it used to be Classy Cassie, and then I changed it to Schmassy, but that story's not appropriate.
That's
for
not
the
era
live-
appropriate. Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
it is.
maybe.
It is.
Well,
That's
you
a
can
different
go
day.
ahead.
Anything goes
You
here.
can. I mean, we've got a couple minutes.
All right. Back when I was drinking, my friend's daughter turned a corner and she was wearing a scarf, and it was like a pink ball and a string, and it looked like anal beads.
Right.
So the daughter was there, and I coded it so she didn't know what I was saying. I said, her scarf looks like Schmanel Schmeeds. And so the rest of the night we started talking like that, and then I just, on a whim, decided to change Classy Cassie to Schmassy Schmassy, and now it's been a thing for over 10 years.
And now it
on
makes
Facebook.
you impossible to tag, like, if I'm trying to
Sometimes
search
some
you,
people's it'll still revert to Classy Cassie.
Yeah.
I've seen, some people have told me that, but
I still can't spell it.
a lot of people can't.
I actually have to go SHM. Yeah, do that whole thing. But anyway, yeah. So, did you have any shouts out? Any people in your life that you want to thank, or that have been, besides your lovely life partner, Dusty?
Just kidding. No, Dusty's definitely been a big part, and Stephanie. And
Stephanie and Myth America.
Yeah, Myth America.
Right.
Kathy. Mm-hmm. Just my mom and the friends that have stuck around that aren't in my sober community.
You sure? Yeah, no. I
mean, I love my sober community, don't get me wrong, but
right.
A lot of that, like the core of where I came from is very important to me, and I've learned who my friends are and who they aren't, and I just appreciate the people that are still in my life and that have been there with me throughout this whole process.
Right. Dusty, did you have any closing words?
Just, if you're in need of substance use treatment or mental health treatment, you're in the Grayson, Cook, or Fannin County areas, give us a call. Give me a call. I'm at dburrows@texomacc.org, or go to texomacc.org. Check out the website and our services there. And even if you live outside of there and you need some help, hit me up. Call me. Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. I'm pretty easy to find, and I would be happy to help you out.
Yeah. And I have tons of people hit me up from Florida, which I'm going to Florida actually today. Awesome. So I will be playing out there. Catch me in Orlando, Florida, Saturday, if you want to see me do the wicca DJ thing.
Well, shout out to you, Kelly. You're always building everybody else up, but if you have access to SoundCloud, Kelly's got some unreleased tracks out there, and it's musical caffeine to your ears. Like, I listen to it every day on the way to work, and it's better. If you put caffeine and the music together.
Dude,
is it like techno mixes or what is it?
Yeah, it's like house music, I guess. EDM, whatever those kids are calling it these days.
Whatever the kids are calling it.
Yeah. Whatever the kids are calling it, I'm making it. Yeah. So it's like a mix of all original tracks. So.
It's good stuff, man.
So if you don't like a certain song, then don't tell me that. No,
yeah, right around the 12-minute mark is like the
when it really
honey
kicks
hole
in.
right there. For me.
That's the sweet spot for you, dude. That's where your caffeine kicks in.
That's where everything kicks in right there.
All right, dude. Well, good to know. But hey,
I have a comment. I'll leave it alone.
Feel free, bring it. Nobody knows.
Nobody's listening.
Nobody's listening.
They've already tuned out by this point. They've already gone, whatever. Hey, but next week I do have Caleb Stewart. He's written a book. He's a young man that started his journey. He was saying that he was like 17 when he started writing this book, and now he's like 23. But he's been a sober cat for a while, and it's about his story. And then exciting news, and you'll be back on this episode. Quincy Carter from the Georgia Bulldogs and a little team called the Dallas Cowboys. He's going to be on. Yeah. So we're excited to have him on. Once again, please reach out to Dogs Matter. If you can foster, do that. And that is Dogs Matter and the number 2.org. And, volunteer your time. Be a good person. Stand up and quit being an a-hole. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, I guess, Brett, we'll wrap it up for today. If you could play us out there, Maestro. As Brett's sleeping over there. Brett's like, whatever. Hey, well, I appreciate y'all tuning in. Be sure and tune in next week. Be sure and like our YouTube channel. Be sure and comment. Like, share, all that good stuff. Hey, and remember, there is no magic pill for sobriety, because if there was, we would all take too many.
Love you guys.